Hey you guys, Fabio coming back with another video. Sorry for the delay over the videos that I haven't posted, right? We picked up new contracts, got a lot of things going on, coaching and a lot of different things. So exciting things. First and foremost, I want to say happy holidays, late Christmas, right? Happy New Year's as I am recording this video on the first day of 2022, right? January 1st. So happy holidays to all, and sorry again for the delay. What I want to talk about in this video, guys, a lot of times people ask me, Fabio, they say, well, Fabio, you know what, with it being so hard to hire people, they say, do you think it's possible I can run a one-man show? Do you think it's possible I could run just my commercial cleaning business, at least for the first year, maybe 2 years, maybe a year and a half, just by myself? Is it possible? Or what do you think has to go into that? It's absolutely possible. Okay, there's actually people out here that's doing that. Okay, because of the fact that they can't find people. Okay, but here is the deal. Here's the deal. Okay, because it's a caveat to everything. Here's the deal. Even though it's possible for you to do that and make a generous income doing it, um, the caveat to that is you're going to scale a lot slower. Okay, well, what are you saying, Fabio? Like your revenue could scale a lot slower because of the fact that you don't have that free time, right? Because you have to be the administrator, you have to get the new contracts, you have to make the calls, you have to set up for the walkthroughs, right? You have to actually clean the sites, you have to order the cleaning supplies and products, right? So you have to do all of these different things. So why you don't have to pay that revenue out because it's just you, is going to allow you to scale much slower than you would typically scale if you had employees or subcontractors. Okay, so what I would suggest that you guys do is have at least one or two people. Okay, one or two people, whether it's a subcontractor, a mom and pop, or you really have W-2 employees. I would suggest that you have at least one or two people on your team. It could be a relative, it could be a friend, it could be anybody. By the way, with anybody that you hire, guys, you want to have them on a subcontractor's agreement or some type of employee agreement or non-disclosure, okay? Just for the protection of your business. I tell people this all the time in my coaching because you just don't know where people's minds is mentally in terms of them overtaking you. I've heard this story even from people that's been in the business longer than me, where they did this business with their husband or they did this business with their wife, and then they had a separation, and for whatever reason, the person that started the business lost in the court of law, right? And the husband wind up taking the business, right? Where they everything else might have been split. I've heard all type of stories. You just don't want to be a catastrophe like that. Okay, you don't want to put yourself in that situation. Okay, so but to go back to the one man show, it's absolutely possible, I should say, that you can run the one man show. It's just going to take you longer to scale. Okay, like I say, possibly just hire one or two people if you can, just to help you, where need be. Okay, because it's going to be times where you're going to get exhausted. Okay, it's going to wear and tear on your body. Trust me, I know because I've done this for experience. I've done this, I have experience doing this, right? So it's going to cost you. There's going to be times where you're like, oh, I got to go and clean this site. It's going to be times where you don't want to do it. Okay, so try to find at least one or two people that you can count upon, whether they're a flex. So that's just a person that a flex is, or just a flex person is just a person that you hire just as needed, right? They go to different sites. They just have a flexible schedule, right? Um, Hopefully you plan on getting some day porter accounts. Those are some pretty good paying accounts. Maybe foreclosure clean outs, apartment clean outs, move in, move out services. So you're gonna have these different services, and with you just being the one man show, you're gonna make it extremely hard for yourself. Okay. You also have to be ready for the rise of inquiries that you might get. Well, Fabio, what are you talking about? Well, what's your advertising? So whether you're doing a postcard marketing campaign or whether you're doing an online marketing campaign, whether you're using a media like kind of what I talk about, right? You don't know where you're gonna have a full blast. Every company have that at some point, right? Where they, like week after week or maybe month after month, you have this steady growth or these steady walkthroughs to do. And then you do the walkthroughs and here, you go from not having no contracts or little to no traction or momentum to having this big consecutive pool of momentum or traction that you're building up. Okay, you don't know when that's going to come, right? Uh, Even people might find you online, your website or through a Google search or whatever in your immediate area. They might find you online and say, hey, I like what they're talking about. They do COVID, they do this, they do that. We give them a call, and then your phones get to ringing. But once again, you're a one-man show, so you have to do all the walkthroughs, right? You have to do the residentials, which are generally day jobs. You have to do the evening cleans or the commercial, which is generally evening jobs, right? And then sometimes you might get a request for a day porter, right? Like at a plant or a factory, industrial building, right? Some type of manufacturer, some type of residential home facility or rehabilitation center, right? Where they have patients there or clients there through the day, and you're actually just kind of cleaning around that. Okay, so you got to be ready for the growth. Otherwise, your income going to stay stagnant. You're going to stay whatever level you're at. You're going to stay at that level because A, you don't have the manpower to scale, or B, you can't handle the scale, right? You can't handle all of these accounts. So you might do very good at account B, but your original A account, you're starting to slack at. And then you pick up a C and you pick up a D, right? So now you got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 different accounts that you have to go to. You have a private school here, you have a bank there, you have an auto dealership here, you have a little small church here, you have some daily residential accounts, right? You might pick up one day porter account at a rehabilitation center or so, right? And then boom, you have all of these accounts, and you still have to manage that with it being just you. Yet, even though you might be managing, let's say hypothetically speaking, you manage those 10 accounts, well, where's room for growth, right? You still want to grow. You still want to essentially get bigger and bigger. And with you being just a one-man show, again, that'll make it very, very hard because you're doing so much of the labor that by the time it's time to advertise or go do a walkthrough or kind of put yourself out there to pick up more business, you're tired, right? Or it's taking a toll on your body, okay? And then and trust, I know how this feels. Once it gets to taking a toll on your body, then you kind of start slacking everywhere, even in your personal life, paying bills, like you don't get enough sleep. So again, you can make a lot of money, and I'm not trying to scare you. For those of you that might want to try this one-man operation, okay, I'm not trying to scare you, but I want to be realistic behind what could possibly happen if your momentum grow quickly, okay? So you can't think in an idea unless you're kind of marketing, piece by piece, unless you're not doing any reoccurring marketing, then yeah, you might be kind of stagnant, staying at the same level, doing those sort of contracts that you already have. But if you're steady marketing, you have a Facebook campaign, you have a SEO campaign, you have a Google AdSense campaign, you have all these different campaigns, right? You're advertising on Instagram, you're advertising on, maybe YouTube or different platforms. You might be doing some offline marketing, some cold calling, and then you just start to get a reflex of callbacks, right? From maybe people that you called before, soliciting to try to pick up new contracts. Or, people that left your door hangers on, going door to door for residential. Now you get an influx in business, and now you're not ready for it, right? Because it's just you. So you have to be the administration. Not only do you have to answer the phone when the phone rings, but you have to set up the appointment, and then you're the one that have to go and do the walkthrough, right? So it's not like you have anybody. So again, just be very, very strategic. I would say yes, you can run a one-man operation, but be strategic how you do it. If you don't mind scaling slower, because that's what's generally probably going to happen, you're going to scale slower, or not scale at all because you're going to stay stagnant because the toll is taken on your body for the contracts that you already have. Then if you're fine with that, then I guess it's okay with me. But I would probably suggest that you have 1 or 2 flex people, okay, no matter who it is. It could be a 1099 or a subcontractor, or it could be a W-2 person. Okay, it's entirely up to you. But like I said, give it some thought. Pace yourself. Also have the idea that you want to grow, right? You want to scale, you want to grow. Okay, so keep that in mind. But if you say, hey, Fabio, I'm going to pace myself, I'm going to market, get 5 accounts, and then I'm going to start marketing which is dangerous to any business. You never want to stop marketing, right? Even if you don't do an extreme campaign, or you put a lot of money out for any given campaign, you don't never want to shut marketing off totally, right? You always want to kind of keep marketing, because what in the event happen if you lose one of the contracts that you have now? But because you shut the campaign off, where you might have received some phone calls, now you got to start all over with a whole new marketing campaign. Your irresistible offer may not be as intense as it was when you was marketing that particular offer. So you might say, well, you know what, I might cut back, and then when I'm ready, I'm gonna go ahead and do it again. And you might have an irresistible offer that you was running that was working pretty decent, but because you cut the campaign, you're not doing that particular campaign no more. So you had a 3 months delay or space in between that. Now you say, I'm gonna go back with that same marketing campaign. It might not be as effective. The momentum is slowed down. Okay, so all of these is, you want to be strategic. You want to think this stuff through, guys. Again, it's your business. Nobody has to run it but you. And I do want to say this, because a lot of times people think, well, let me get Fabio's idea, or Fabio's thought about something, right? So they email me, or I talk to them on the phone, and just because it might not be something that I do, they tend to say, well, they're not going to do it. Guys, that's not how business is. You'll lose a lot of money. You'll lose a lot of money. Just because I might not be doing it, or never done it, or haven't tried it, don't mean if you try it, it won't work for you, right? Remember, I always say you just have to be the first to do it, right? I also get a lot of calls or emails where people can try things that I never even thought about, and it worked. That's part of building your system. If it worked, keep doing it, okay? Modify it where you need to, pivot where you need to, but keep doing it as long as it's working, guys, in terms of your marketing campaign, or whatever you're doing that's working. Okay, now you found something that's working. What you want to do is add to that. Okay, so if, let's say you're doing Facebook advertising, hypothetically speaking, right, and it's working, then keep doing it. Okay, now every so often you want to change the ad up, obviously, because the offer that you have isn't going to work forever, right? So they're going to get used to it. You want to spice the offer up. But let's say you go and you start doing Groupons, right? And you say, well, you know what, I'm gonna try Groupons. I'm gonna do a little Groupon campaign where you're working through Groupon. Or you might say, you know what, I'm gonna download this app somebody told me about. Or you might go through Home Advisor, for residential, or whatever. I'm just kind of throwing stuff out there. Still do what was working if it's a Facebook. And then if you're going to do Home Advisor, do Home Advisor. If you're going to do Groupon, do Groupon. If you're going to do some SEO, do some SEOs. But make sure you keep that revenue going for the thing that's working, the Facebook campaign, right? Or whatever campaign it is, right? So I'm just trying to teach you guys how to systematically put together a system. A lot of times the problems that I have with a lot of people, not only in my coaching, but just my YouTube viewers, is they get a campaign started, they get some momentum, and then they stop. So if you're taking a little money, like I suggest that you do on another video that I talked about, if you take a little money and you say out of each check, and you say, you know what, I'm gonna throw this to this campaign. If that campaign is working, continue to do it. Once the campaign starts slowing down, and you'll know because the calls will slow down, the traction will slow down, you won't be getting much response from it, then you can kind of tweak it a little bit, right? Come up with a different campaign, a different angle, a different perspective on it, right? On that particular campaign. Or you could just change the whole campaign up totally, right? And just say, hey, this is slowed down, so we're gonna come with this, okay? So again, like I say, guys, I want you guys to win, but you definitely, if this is really what you wanna do in terms of a business, you have to be very, very strategic, okay? There's no right or wrong way to run this cleaning business stuff. You just have to try something. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, then you make adjustments and you keep it pushing, okay? So that's gonna do it for now, guys. Again, I do apologize for the lack of videos that I post. I'm posting this today on the 1st of January 2022. Happy New Year's to all. And as I always say, the only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, guys. I would greatly appreciate that. Just please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any comments, leave it in the comment section. I would definitely try to personally get back to it, or at least Jasmine will. Sometimes she helps me out. If you want a little more intimate, um, you know, uh, perspective on whatever your ideal is, and you want to email me, feel free to do that at hollywoodjanitorialserve@gmail.com. hollywoodjanitorialserve@gmail.com. And once again, Jasmine, get over to me, or I might see it and I might answer you back personally. If it's something going on with your business, guys, again, I don't necessarily check the emails myself. Most times they'll check it, get it over to me. But when I do check it, I do prefer to talk to you guys. So if it's something where, you got a question about something, just leave your name, leave your number, and I'll give you a call back, okay? And we could talk about your matter, and that's that, okay? Um, Again, that's going to wrap it up, guys. Have a great, great 2022. And like I say, the only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. Take care.